Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am MK Jabintaj. Today in this video I am giving you the brief knowledge about third module of computer organization for third sem CSE CBCS VTU students. I am dedicating this video to all these students. Now let us begin. Module 3, Memory System. The basic concepts. Maximum size of memory that can be used in any computer is determined by addressing mode. See the table. If MAR is k bits long, then memory may contain up to 2 to the power of k addressable locations. If MDR is n bits long, then n bits of the data are transferred between the memory and processor. The data transfer takes place over the processor bus. See the figure 8.1. The processor bus has address line, data line, control line. MFC means memory function completed. The control line is used for coordinating data transfer. The processor reads the data from the memory by loading the address of the required memory location in MAR and setting the read or write line to 1. The memory responds by placing the data from the addressed location onto the data lines and confirms this action by asserting MFC signal. Upon receipt of MFC signal, the processor loads the data from the data lines into MDR. The processor writes the data into the memory location by loading the address of this location into MAR and setting the read or write line to 0. Memory access time. It is the time that elapses between initiation of an operation and completion of that operation. Memory cycle time. It is the minimum time delay that required between the initiation of the two successive memory operations. Now let us see RAM, random access memory. The RAM, in RAM, any location can be accessed for read or write operation in fixed amount of time. Cache memory, it is a small fast memory that is inserted between larger slower main memory and processor. It holds the currently active segments of a program and their data. Virtual memory, the address generated by the processor is referred to as virtual or logical address. The virtual address space is mapped onto the physical memory where data are actually stored. The mapping function is implemented by MMU. MMU means Memory Management Unit. Only the active portion of the address space is mapped into locations in the memory, in the physical memory. The remaining virtual addresses are mapped onto the bulk storage devices such as a magnetic disk. As the active portion of the virtual address space changes during program execution, the MMU changes the mapping function and transfers the data between disk and memory. During every memory cycle, MMU determines whether the addressed page is in the memory. If the page is in the memory, then the proper word is accessed and execution proceeds. Otherwise, a page containing desired word is transferred from a disk to memory. Memory can be classified as follows: RAM, which can be further classified as follows: static RAM, dynamic RAM. DRAM, which can be further classified as synchronous and asynchronous. DRAM. ROM, which can be further classified as PROM, EPROM, EEPROM, and flash memory, which can be further classified as flash cards and flash drives. Now let us see semiconductor RAM memories. Internal organization of memory chips. Memory cells are organized in the form of array. See the figure 8.2. Each cell is capable of storing 1 bit of information. Each row of the cells forms a memory word. All cells of a row are connected to a common line called a word line. The cells in each column are connected to sensor write circuit by 2-bit lines. The sensor write circuit are connected to data input or output lines of the chip. During a write operation, the sensor write circuit receives input information and store input info in the cells of the selected word. The data input and data output of each sense or write circuit are connected to a single bidirectional data line. Data line can be connected to a data bus of the computer. Following two control lines are also used. Read or write specifies the required operation. CS chip select input selects as a given chip in the multi-chip memory system. See the table. Now let us see static RAM or memory. Memories consist of circuits capable of retaining their state as long as power is applied or known. Two inverters are cross connected to form a latch. See the figure 8.4. The latch is connected to two bit lines by transistors T1 and T2. The transistors act as switches that can be opened or closed under the control of the word line. When the word line is at ground level, the transistors are turned off and the latch retain its state. Read operation. To read the state of the cell, the word line is activated to close switches T1 and T2. If the cell is in state 1 and signal on bit line B is high and the signal on the bit line B double dash is low. Thus B and B double dash are complement of each other. Sense or write circuit monitors the state of B and B double dash and sets the output accordingly. Write operation. The state of the cell is set by placing the appropriate value on bit line B and its component on B double dash and then activating the word line. The forces the cell into the corresponding state. The required signal on the bit lines is generated by sense or write circuit. CMOS cell. Transistor pairs T3, T5 and T4, T6 forms the inverters in the latch. See the figure 8.5. In state 1, the voltage at point X is high by having T5, T6 on and T4, T5 are off. Thus T1, T2 return on closed bit line B and B double dash will have high and low signals respectively. Advantages: it has low power consumption. The current flows in the cell only when the cell is active. Static RAM double dashes can be accessed quickly. It assesses time in few nanoseconds. Disadvantage: yes, RAMs are said to be volatile memories. Their contents are lost when power is interrupted. Now let us see asynchronous DRAM. Less expensive RAMs can be implemented if simple cells are used. Such cells cannot retain their state indefinitely, hence they are called dynamic RAM, DRAM. The information stored in dynamic memory cell in the form of charge on a capacitor. This charge can be maintained only for tens of milliseconds. The contents must be periodically refreshed by restoring this capacitor charge to its full value. In order to store information in the cell, the transistor T is turned on. See the figure 8.6. The appropriate voltage is applied to the bit line which charges the capacitor. After the transistor is turned off, the capacitor begins to discharge. Hence, info stored in cell can be retrieved correctly before threshold value of the capacitor drops down. During a read operation, transistor is turned on. A sense amplifier detects whether the charge on the capacitor is above the threshold value. If charge on capacitor is greater than threshold value, bit line will have logic value 1. If charge on capacitor is less than threshold value, bit line will set to logic value 0. Now let us see asynchronous DRAM description. A 4-bit cells in each row are divided into 5 groups of 8. See the figure 5.7. 21-bit address is needed to access a byte in the memory. 21 bits is divided as follows. 12 address bits are needed to select a row. A8 to 0 specifies row address of a byte. 9 bits are needed to specify a group of 8 bits in the selected row. that is A20 to 9 specifies column address of a byte. During read-or-write operation, row address is applied first. Row address is loaded into row latch in response to a single signal pulse on RAS input of chip. RAS means row address strobe, CAS means column address strobe. When a read operation is initiated, all cells on the selected row are read and refreshed. Shortly after the row address is loaded, the column address is applied to the address pins and loaded into CAS dash. The information in the latch is decoded. The appropriate group of 8 sensor write circuits is selected. Read or write is equal to 1 read operation. Output values of selected circuits are transferred to data lines D0 to D7. Read or write is equal to 0 write operation if information on D0 to 7 are transferred to the selected circuits. RAS double dash and CAS double dash are active low so that they cause latching of address when they change from high to low. To ensure that the contents of DRAMs are maintained, each row of the cell is assessed periodically. A special memory circuit provides the necessary control signals RAS double dash and CAS double dash that govern the timing. The processor must take into account the delay in the response of the memory. Now let us see fast page mode. Transferring the bytes in sequential order is achieved by applying the consecutive sequence of the column address under the control of the successive CAS double dash signals. This scheme allows transferring a block of data at a faster rate. The block of the transfer capability is called a fast page mode. Now let us see synchronous DRAM. The operations are directly synchronized with clock signal. See the figure 8.8. The address and data connections are buffered by means of registers. The output of each sense amplifier is connected to a latch. A read operation causes the contents of all cells in the selected row to be loaded in these latches. Data held in latches that correspond to selected columns are transferred into data output register, thus data becoming available on the data output pins. First, the row address is latched under the control of RAS double dash signal. See the figure 8.9. The memory typically takes 2 or 3 clock cycles to activate the selected row. Then the column address is latched under the control of CAS double dash signal. After a delay of 1 clock cycle, the first set of the data bits is placed on the data lines. SDRAM automatically increments column address to access next 3 sets of bits in the selected row. Now let us see latency and bandwidth. A good indication of performance is given by 2 parameters, latency, bandwidth. Latency, it refers to the amount of time it takes to transfer a word of data to or from the memory. For a transfer of single word, the latency provides the complete indication of memory performance. For a block transfer, the latency denotes the time it takes to transfer the first word of the data. Bandwidth, it is defined as the number of bits or bytes that can be transferred in 1 second. Bandwidth mainly depends on the speed of the access to the stored data and the number of bits that can be accessed in parallel. Double data rate SDRAM, DDR SDRAM. The standard SDRAM performs all actions on the rising edge of the clock signal. The DDR SDRAM transfers data on the both edges, loading edge and trailing edge. The bandwidth of DDR SDRAM is doubled for long burst transfer. To make it possible to access the data at a high rate, the cell array is organized into 2 banks. Each bank can be accessed separately. Consecutive words of a given block are stored in different banks. Such interleaving of words allows simultaneous access to two words. The two words are transferred on a successive edge of the clock. The structure of larger memories. Dynamic memory system. The physical implementation is done in the form of memory modules. If a large memory is built by placing DRAM chips directly on the motherboard, then it will occupy large amount of space on the board. These packaging considerations have led the development of larger memory units known as SIMM double dashes and DIMM double dashes. SIMM single inline memory module, DIMM dual inline memory module. SIMM or DIMM consists of many memory chips on a small board that plugs into a socket on motherboard. Memory system consideration. Memory controller. To reduce the number of pins, the dynamic memory chips use multiplexed address inputs. The address is divided into two parts. High order address bit select a row in the cell array. It is provided first and latched into memory chips under the control of RAS double dash signal. Low order address bit selects a column. They are provided on the same address pins and latched using CAS double dash signals. The multiplexing of address bit is usually done by memory controller circuit. See the figure 5.11. The controller accepts a complete address and read or write signal from the processor. A request signal indicates a memory access operation is needed. Then the controller forwards the row and column portions of the address to the memory, generates RAS and CAS signals and sends read or write and CS signals to the memory. Rhombus memory. Rambus memory. The usage of wide bus is expensive. Rambus developed the implementation of narrow bus. Rambus technology is a fast signaling method used to transfer information between chips. The signals consist of much smaller voltage swings around a reference voltage Vref. The reference voltage is about 2V. The two logical values are represented by 0.3 V swings above and below Vref. This type of signaling is generally known as differential signaling. Rambus provides a complete specification for a design of communication called as Rambus channel. Rambus memory has a clock frequency of 400 MHz. The data are transmitted on both the edges of clock so that effective data transfer rate is 800 MHz. Circuitry needed to interface to Rambus channel is included on chip. Such chips are called RD RAM. RD RAM is equal to Rambus D RAMs. Rambus channel are 9 data lines. Rambus channel has 9 data lines. First to 8 line transfer the data. 9th line parity checking, control line and power line. A 2-channel Rambus has 18 data lines which has no separate address lines. Communication between processor and RD RAM modules is carried out by means of packets transmitted on the data lines. There are 3 types of packets: request, acknowledgement and data.